I really have no intro for this. Cursed poems, cursed flash animations, cursed dreams, cursed mirrors, and a whole slew of demons. These are the top 30 creepiest Japanese urban legends.
Girl from the Gap. The Girl from the Gap is a spirit living in the gaps of houses, such as between furniture's doors, drawers, and according to the spirit, if one day you were to see her, she will ask you to play hide and seek before disappearing off. The second time you see her, her eyes will be within a gap, and she'll take you to hell. Or some other dimension. The place is not known, but all we do know is that it's not fun.
Ten Dreams. The legend of the 10 Day of Dreams goes like this. You will dream for 10 days in succession. Each dream comes with a rule you must follow. Warning, if you hear this story, you might end up having the same dreams within 3 days. The first day. You will dream that you are sleeping in your room. Then you will notice a girl peeping through the window. First rule, you must let the girl in. Second day. The girl is inside your room. She is looking downward and you cannot see her face because of her long hair. She is muttering something. After a while, you realize that she is saying, "Please, please." Second rule, let her come into your bed and lie down next to you. Third day, you and the girl are lying side by side. You are now able to see the girl's face. Her face is horribly burnt. Third rule, do not cry out when you see her face. Fourth day, you get out of bed and the girl says, "Let's go to the park." Fourth rule, take the girl to the nearest park without saying one word. Fifth day, when you arrive at the park, you will notice someone pushing a stroller. Look closely, and you will notice that the mother is a cat and the baby is a dog. Fifth rule, you must kill either one of them. Sixth day, while you are playing with the girl at the park, you will see an airship about to take off. Sixth rule, make sure you get on the airship in time. Seventh day, the airship is full of people who, just like you, have heard this story. Seventh rule, find a seat for yourself at any cost. Eighth day, after some time, red roses and black roses start to rain down on you. Eighth rule, throw out any of the black roses from the airship. Ninth day, the airship takes you back to the park. Ninth rule, go home with the girl and lie down in bed again. The 10th day, you will not know what happens on the 10th day unless you have observed all of the rules from the previous days. You should also tell somebody this story while you are awake. Otherwise, you will go back to the first day of the dream.
The Manhole. The urban legend surrounding the manhole was about a little girl called Mayumi. One day when she was walking towards her all-girls school, she heard, or at least saw, another girl, a fellow classmate who was often bullied, walking around too. Bullying can often get to an extreme at girls' schools like Mayumi's, especially in Japan, and she didn't want to be the odd one out, so she bullied this little poor lass along with the rest of the class. She remembers saying some cruel things, an odd, stupid word or two, but nothing really too violent. Mayumi once saw the girl jumping on a manhole, while muttering the phrase, 9999, over and over again, increasing in speed as it continued, muttering while she jumped. Mayumi asked the girl what she was doing, but then got ignored. Angered, she pushed the girl away and stood on the manhole herself. At that exact moment, the girl who had been pushed away quickly, using all her strength, removed the lid of the manhole, and Mayumi fell into it. The girl put the lid back on, and smiling with satisfaction, she started jumping on it again. This time, muttering a different phrase.
10, 10, 10, 10.
Shirokiya department store deaths. In 1932, the Shirokiya department store in Tokyo was caught in a massive fire, tragically taking the lives of 14 people. The legend goes that several female shop assistants managed to get to the roof of the building. Firefighters urged them to climb down their safety ropes. The woman did so, but at the halfway point, a strong gust of wind came along. All of the women were wearing kimonos, a traditional Japanese garment that requires no underwear. The woman, fearing that the wind would expose them in front of the growing audience, let go of the rope to cover themselves, causing them to fall to their deaths. Strangely enough, the department store has recently urged women to wear underwear within work hours. This story has even been documented in Japanese firefighting manuals. Fatal Fare. This legend is about a taxi who picks up a stranger in the middle of the night. The stranger takes the back seat and asks the driver to take him to an unheard destination. He gives strange instructions and complex directions that often leads to dark alleys or dead-end streets. This continues on until the driver finally gets mad enough that he turns around to face his client. However, when he does, the stranger is no longer there. Confused, the driver fails to realize that the car he is driving is about to drive off a cliff. By the time he realizes, it'll be all too late. "8 feet tall." Hachishaku-sama, or simply known as 8 feet tall, is a woman who wanders around abducting children. It takes on the appearance of an extremely tall woman and often makes the sound po, po, po in a deep male voice. It will appear differently depending on who sees it. Some say she looks like a haggard old woman in a kimono, while others say she just looks like a normal girl in a white funeral shroud. Her victims are always children, since they are still dependent on their parents, making it easier for her to appear just as a relative.
Double bed. According to the legend, if you are sleeping alone, you should never sleep in a double bed. If you do, try never to sleep on just one side. Otherwise, as the story goes on, in the dark of the night, you'll be sleeping on one side. Something or someone will lie down on the floor next to the bed and start sleeping. You will hear breathing as you sleep and as the ghost sleeps. If you do not get rid of this ghost, later it will get up, lie down next to you on your bed, and a deep breathing will sound right next to you. If you do not get rid of the ghost this time, next the ghost will enter and sit down hard on the bed while you sleep as you feel the bed shake. When the mattress will start bouncing because the ghost will start jumping up and down on the mattress. Sweet dreams.
Kashima Raiko. Warning. According to the legend, after hearing the story, Kashima Raiko will appear to you within a month. If you wish to move on to the next one, you may skip to this time. Kashima Raiko was once a woman who lived in the island of Hokkaido, Japan. One day, however, she was brutally attacked by a group of men who left her for dead. No one came to help her. She was crawling for help but collapsed on railroad tracks before a train came and ran her over, slicing her in two. Her body was severed from the waist. She now wanders the nights looking for her legs, appearing in schools or in people's homes. If you see her, she will ask, "Where are my legs?" The answer is, on the Meishin Expressway. she'll reply with, "What's my name?" Do not reply with Kashimo Reiko, or else she will kill you. Instead reply with, "Mask Death Demon," as that is what Kashimo translates to. If successful, she'll crawl away to ask another victim. Hikiko-san.
Hikiko-san is the story of a young schoolgirl who was often the target of bullying by students who would write mean comments on her desk and backpack, damage her shoes, and make her fall on the road, and bully her in many other ways. At home, her family yelled at her and hit her frequently, and nobody wanted to stand up for her. They were all afraid of becoming the next target. The constant bullying took its toll on her physical appearance. As revenge, she said to scare and capture students from the elementary school and drag them on the floor until they are badly mutilated. Fun fact here about film buffs, the Japanese film of the same name is based on her and these events.
Cowhead. The Cowhead story is apparently so morbidly horrifying, so frightening, that whoever manages to listen to the complete story will experience nightmares for days. Some theories about its origins are floating around, the most common being that it was discovered sometime in the 17th century. Nobody knows for sure what the story is about. It was rumored to be an unpublished piece from sci-fi writer Sakio Komatsu, but there's no evidence to link him to the legend. A Ukrainian folktale called Cow's Head does exist, as well as a 2003 film, but neither of them are linked to the legend. And the story of Cowhead remains a mystery.
Hanako-chan. Hanako-san is the spirit of a small girl in a red shirt who is believed to possess girls' washrooms all over schools in Japan. As the legend goes, if said person approaches a third stall in a girl's restroom, knocks 3 times, and asks, "Are you there, Hanako-san?" a voice will be heard saying, "I am here." You then have the choice of either walking away or opening the door. If you choose to open the door, she'll either be waiting for you before vanishing, or violently drag you into the toilet and kill you.
No Face. No Face is a Japanese creature known primarily for frightening humans, but are usually otherwise harmless. They appear to the victim as an ordinary human being, or sometimes a person they're familiar with. Then, after waiting for the right time, their facial features will disappear, leaving a blank patch of skin where their face should be. No Face has no real agenda or interest in killing people. They are just mischievous spirits, who like giving wanderers a good scare. Human Pillars.
As a form of sacrifice, when people were to commit suicide, their bodies would be encased within a building, becoming guardians of said building. This practice was known as Hirobashira, and is one of the most famous examples of this is the Matsu Castle. This castle was built in the 17th century, with several walls falling down. As a result, a human sacrifice was sought to steady the structure. Train drivers have reported hearing ghostly noises under the tunnel, which is believed to be the screams of those who are buried within the walls.
The Snake Woman. This urban legend is about a large, snake-like creature with the head of a woman who lurks in shallow pools of water as she preys on fishermen and swimmers. She will paralyze her victim with her eyes and use her tongue to drain you of your blood. In some stories, she can be seen washing her long black hair on shore, and will react violently to those who bother her. In other cases, she carries a small but extremely heavy childlike bundle, which she uses to trap her victims from fleeing. Despite her size, she is well hidden, strong, and very fast. Your best chance at staying safe is to avoid walking alone on the beach at night.
The Purple Mirror. The story of the Purple Mirror is about a cursed phrase that will kill anyone who still remembers it by the age of 20. Years ago, a young Japanese girl was given a mirror by her parents. She loved the mirror so much that she would look at herself in the mirror every day. She was so desperate to look beautiful, she started developing acute anorexia until the point where it went full blown and she became painfully thin and frail. But whenever she looked in that mirror, she saw herself as beautiful. One day, while painting her mirror purple, she began to see who she really was through her reflection, and to be frank, she was mortified. She hated the way she looked, and broke the mirror. On her 20th birthday, she was preparing for her big day, when she was struck by a car and killed. As she lay there, dying, her last words were, "Purple mirror. Purple mirror. Purple mirror." After that, the funeral began and her parents searched her room and discovered that her broken mirror was gone. Rumors began to spread. Some who attended her funeral died under mysterious circumstances. Since then, the phrase "purple mirror" is cursed, and whoever remembers it by their 20th birthday will meet a untimely death.
The No Mask. The No Mask is a mask used to represent a jealous female, demon, or serpent. They are secured by the wealthy for safety, and are mainly used for operas. However, they come with the strange legend that, if the mask were to be worn, it will absorb all the negative energy of its host, including anger, hatred, jealousy, and so on. The No Mask is said to be constantly persuading its owner to wear it, consuming more and more negative energy, until the owner begins to rot. Once the owner succumbs to the mask's power, the mask leaves to find a new host.
Himuro Mansion. According to the legend, this large mansion exists elsewhere on the outskirts of Tokyo. The Himuro family resided in this mansion and lived by a certain ritual. This ritual involved keeping a girl locked up and completely absent from society. Every 50 years, the Himuro family would tie ropes around the girl's necks and limbs and pull her apart. The bloody ropes are said to protect the family from bad karma until the next ritual practice. However, one year, the girl captive managed to look out the window and fall in love with a nearby boy. This nullified the ritual, and as soon as the father of the family found out, he went insane. He felt that the only way to save his family was to kill them all. Pleading with the afterlife was safer than what was to come. The father then ends his own life. No one was quite sure what the bad karma would have happened if the ritual didn't work. However, the site interested a lot of people in Tokyo, and they managed to report seeing strange sightings of the phenomenon at the Himuro mansion, such as bloody handprints, nooses, and some say that taking a picture of the window will reveal a ghostly image of a young girl behind it. A total of 7 strange deaths have occurred in the mansion other than the Himuro family, and to this day remains completely unexplainable. The game Fatal Frame is said to be based on the legend of Himuro Mansion.
The Kiyotaki Tunnel. This tunnel was built in 1927 and is supposedly haunted by the workers who died from working there. The workers were treated like slaves and built the tunnel under harsh conditions. This tunnel is exactly 444 meters long, 4 being an extremely unlucky number in Japan. People report that the spirits of the workers can be seen in this tunnel at night. In some cases, they can be seen sitting in the passenger seat within cars passing by. There's also a mirror inside the tunnel, and if one were to look inside it, you would see a ghost by your reflection and die very soon. Kokori-san. Similar to the Ouija board, Kokori-san is one of the most famous games in Japan. Mostly played by school children, the game is played to summon spirits and ask them questions. The game isn't as dangerous as the Ouija board, since the spirit summoned, whom the game is named after, is a lot more calm and less dangerous. To play Kokiri-san, you need at least 2 people, a sheet of paper, a pen, and a coin. Take the blank sheet of paper and draw a tori, a traditional Japanese gate, at the top with red ink. Write yes and no on either side of the tori. Beneath this, write 1 row of numbers 0 to 9 and 3 rows of letters from A to Z. Open a window or a door so that Kokori-san will be able to enter the room. The tori represents the gateway from where the spirit will enter and exit from. Place the coin on the tori. Each player places their index finger on the coin. Call the spirit by saying, "Kokori-san, Kokori-san, if you're here, please move this coin." You can then ask Kokori-san whatever questions you'd like. It will move the coin to spell out the answer. You must ask Kokori-san to leave by saying, "Kokori-san, Kokori-san, please return home." The coin will move to yes, and then come to a rest on the red tori. When you are certain that Kokori-san has left, you must destroy the paper. Either tear it up to pieces or burn it. You must also spend the coin before the end of the day. Although the game Kokori-san is not as dangerous as the Ouija board, it's still not recommended that you play it. Many people become upset or depressed if they receive an answer they do not like. Also, always remember that Kokori-san is a trickster spirit and can easily lie to you. The Slit-Mouthed Woman. This urban legend warns children about the dangers of walking alone at night, for they might encounter the Slit-Mouthed Woman. She wears a surgical mask covering her mouth, which is a common sight in Japan, as people wear them to protect others from their colds and such. But this woman will stop wandering children and ask, "Am I beautiful?" If they respond with no, she kills them with a pair of scissors she's always carrying around. If instead they respond with yes, the woman removes her mask to reveal her mouth has been slit from ear to ear. She'll then ask, "How about now?" No matter what the response, the slit-mouthed woman will kill them. If they say no, they are cut in half, and if they say yes, she cuts their mouths to be exactly like hers. There are a few ways to escape. At this point, if you were to instead respond with, "You're average," "so-so," or even another question like, "Am I pretty?" she'll get confused, and you'll have a few precious moments to run.
Cursed Kleenex commercial. In the 1980s, Kleenex released a Japanese commercial featuring a woman dressed in all white and a young child dressed as a Japanese ogre. Many viewers found the advertisement disturbing. Some complained that the song sounded like a German curse.
It's a fine day, people open windows, they leave their houses just for a short while. They walk by the grass and they look at the grass, they look at the sky. It's going to be a fine night tonight, it's going to be a fine day tomorrow.
クリネックスティッシュです。
Because of this, several rumors started to circulate about the cast, and according to the legend, the crew members ultimately met their deaths through accidents, and the lead actress became pregnant with a demon child. Some believe that the commercial will change if viewed at midnight, so keep that in mind when YouTubing this.
Kisaragi Station. In 2004, an anonymous post was made in the middle of a thread called Post About Strange Occurrences Around You, Thread 26. The story goes that a man named Hasumi was on a train to work, but the train hasn't stopped at a station for the past 20 minutes. It usually stops every 5 minutes, and everyone on board is sleeping. This was odd, so Hasumi posted it online for comfort. He finally arrived at an unheard location called the Kisaragi Station. The other users on the forum had never heard of this location, and neither has Hasumi. It seemed completely abandoned and there were no taxis in sight. He wandered for about 20 minutes and called his parents and the police. His parents couldn't find any information on the place, and the police thought it was a prank. Frightened, Hasumi ran back the way he came through a tunnel to try and find something. He eventually came across someone who called for a train to take Hasumi to the nearest location, a hotel in Hina. As the train went up the mountains, Hasumi's phone battery was dying. He was never heard from again.
Dream School. This story is about an endless dream one boy has in which he cannot escape from. This story is cursed, and whoever will learn about it will be trapped within the same dream within a week or so. Anyways, as the story goes, the young boy had a dream about being in school. He was unfamiliar with it. He ran through the hallways, up the stairs, and turned every corner, but no avail, sometimes finding himself back where he ran from, despite running in a complete straight line. Other times, he would swear that he's on the 3rd floor, but after going up the stairs, he ended up back up on the 1st floor. This just didn't make sense, and it was mind-boggling to him, when out of nowhere, the boy heard in the distance something that sounded like footsteps that grew louder and louder. The boy ran as fast as he could, reluctantly finding an emergency exit. However, the door was locked and the glass box that contained the key was smashed in. Key wasn't in there, but instead a note that said, "It was in classroom 108. Footsteps sounded closer and closer. The boy made it to classroom 108 and searched frantically for the keys, and at this point the footsteps were right in front of him, in front of the door, and there was heavy knocking. Just then, the knocking stopped. Cold silence followed. The boy managed to work up the courage opening the door, and what he saw horrified him. It was several boys and girls cut up to pieces on the floor, completely drenched in blood. The boy ran off, unable to take it anymore.
Okiku's doll. The legend goes that a young boy bought the doll for his 2-year-old sister named Okiku. She loved the doll. She would play with it every day. Unfortunately, the little girl died at a very young age. Strangely enough, her doll's hair kept growing. Her parents believed that this was because the spirit of their daughter resided within the doll. Since 1938, the parents decided to hand the doll over to the Meninji Temple. No scientific or theoretical explanation for why the doll can grow hair has been given. It remains a mystery to this day. Inuyaki Village.
Inuyaki Village is a mysterious village that is completely isolated from the rest of Japan. This creates a lot of doubt of whether it really exists or not. Well, I cannot attest to that. However, according to the legend, the village has an entrance sign that says, "The constitutional laws of Japan do not apply here." Those who say they visit the area reported people committing incest, cannibalism, and murder on a daily basis. For some reason, electronic devices do not work there, and many people who have traveled to find this village will never and have never returned home.
Satoru-kun. Satoru-kun is an urban legend about a game that people will play to find out the answer to any question they have. According to the legend, Satoru-kun is an all-knowing Japanese ghost, spirit, or even demon who will appear to you as a young boy. In order to summon him, the following ritual must be performed. First, you need a cell phone, some coins, and a public payphone. Step 1. Insert the money in the public payphone. Dial your own mobile phone number. Step 2. Repeat the following chant. Satoru-kun, Satoru-kun, please come here. Satoru, Satoru, please show yourself. Satoru, Satoru, please answer me if you are there. If everything is done right, you will receive several phone calls from Satoru-kun, and he will tell you that he is getting closer and closer to you. The last time he calls, he will say, "I am behind you now." This is when you get to ask your question. Rules: do not turn around or try to look at Satoru-kun. Do not touch him. Do not call him if you don't have a question to ask. When he is behind you, do not delay. Ask the question immediately. If you break any of these rules, Satoru-kun will drag you to hell.
The Red Room. The story of the Red Room is an internet legend about a pop-up that appears on a person's computer. The pop-up shows a red door, and a ominous, mysterious voice asks, "Do you like?" It cannot be closed, and it will simply keep on reappearing until finally asking, "Do you like the Red Room?" Clicking on the link will also send you through a series of questions before you reach the end and finding your name listed within the game. The next day you'll be found dead, and the walls of your house will be painted with your own blood. In 2004, there was a 11-year-old girl known as Girl A for simplicity's sake, who killed her 12-year-old best friend seemingly out of nowhere. The murder involved slitting the victim's throat, arms, and wrists with a utility knife. When the police investigated her home, they finally found the Red Room video bookmarked on her computer.
Suicidal Japanese drawing. Shortly before a teenage girl committed suicide, she drew a picture, scanned it, and posted it online. The picture is supposedly haunted by the girl's damaged spirit, provoking sadness and despair. According to Korean legend, the viewer gets drawn into the girl's blue eyes. Others swear they can sense the girl's suicidal feelings of anger and sadness within the drawing's eyes. The scariest part is that some say it's hard to stare into the eyes for longer than 5 minutes. There are reports that some people have taken their own lives after doing so. People say the picture changes. As you view it, there is a hint of a growing taunting smirk appearing on the girl's lips, or a dark ring that surrounds the girl's eyes.
The Video Will. This story details the death of a man named Kai, a man who tragically slipped and fell while free climbing. About half a year before his death, Kai asked his closest friend for a favor. Kai knew his hobby was dangerous and that he couldn't predict if something were to go wrong. So he asked his friend, his closest friend, if he would help him record a video message to be shown to his family in case something did go wrong. The friend accepted, and the message is as follows.
This is Kai. If you're watching this, then it means that I'm already dead. Koriyami, thank you for all that you've done, and I am sorry for all the trouble that I caused due to my hobby. My parents who raised me and all my friends, you guys are probably sad because I'm dead. Well, don't be. I'm in heaven and I'm very happy. I'm sorry that I couldn't meet with you guys for real, but I swear while this message plays, I'll be watching you in heaven. Ami, your dad is watching you from heaven, so please, don't be sad, but instead, smile for me. Until... goodbye.
After Kai's untimely death, the best friend played the video for the family at the funeral. However, as the video was being played, there was a whirling sound and a black screen which continued on for about 10 seconds. The friend was confused, and as soon as he approached the VCR, Kai's form began to show from the middle of the screen behind a dark background. He yelled this.
This is Kai. If you're... I'm dead. Koriyami? Thank you for all you've done.
The video was distorted and hard to hear. The whole family was in an uproar, with Kai's wife demanding to know what in the hell happened. A friend apologized and took the DVD to the shrine to destroy it. The priest saw the envelope containing the DVD and he said, sorry. It's too much for this place. According to him, the moment Kai had recorded the video, he was being dragged down to hell. The priest didn't even understand why or how Kai managed to live for a year and a half longer, when he should have died right after the recording.
Tomino's Hell. Tomino's Hell is a cursed Japanese poem that causes illness, misfortune, or even death to those who read it out loud. Many have reported feeling uneasy after reading just halfway into it. The poem is about Tomino, who dies and falls to hell. It was written by Yamada Inuhiko in a book titled The Heart is Like a Rolling Stone. The poem with English subtitles goes something like this. Hey guys, blameitonjorge here. So after I read the Dream School story and wrote the script for it, the one that's cursed, that you'll end up having these dreams too. That night I went to bed and I had a dream that I was in my old high school. I wasn't trapped or anything or running down the hallways. I was just in a classroom and I was just there recognizing old classmates. I woke up around 5 in the morning, went back to bed. This time I was at the mall. There was a shootout going on, and I was running through the aisles to find a bathroom, to find something to hide in while I called the cops. I remember the robber walking down the hallway, like, trying to find me. I don't remember him knocking on the door, like, loudly, like the story had it, but it was really, really weird, and I felt like sharing that. Okay, see ya.